How y'all doing today? I'm sitting here with Mr. and Mrs. Jordan from Panama City Dragway in
Fountain, Florida.
This is technically Fountain.
Yeah.
Y'all have been into racing most of your lives.
Yes.
And you're 30 now, so
Right.
it's been quite a number of years.
Yeah.
Let our viewers know just how long you've been into racing and what got you bitten by the racing bug in the beginning.
A couple of uncles used to mess around track cars when I was 14 to 15, got oriented in that, and then I didn't want to round track very much, but started drag racing, and I was organized drag racing. I was 16 years old, and I'll be 69 in a few more weeks, so that's how long we've been doing it. And my wife, I was racing when I met her, and we met going to school, but we've raced ever since our married life, and our two sons have too, and that's been 48 years now.
If my memory serves me correctly, Mrs. Jordan was working in the tower at one of the tracks you used to race at.
I started organized racing at Andalusia Dragway, and the track was built in 1962. We got married in 64, and within 2 months of 65, wait a minute. We got married first part of 64. Anyway, our son was born last 65 and 64, and then in first of 65, she was working in the tower and I was racing at the track. And our kid was about 2 months old when we started.
Wow. And I can testify how long of a time frame that's been, because I was born in 68 and I consider myself pretty up there in years now. So y'all been racing for quite a while.
Quite a while.
What's the first track that you ran more than you raced? Because at some point you switched from hardcore full-time racer to track runner.
I guess in Andalusia Dragway was it. It closed down for several years, and then me and my wife got with the owners and talked to them about reopening it, and we partnered up with them and ran it till it closed in 77, I believe it was.
1977, wow. Jimmy Carter years, I think that was.
Yeah.
When Andalusia closed down, what did you do after that?
Gosh, we ran racetracks, and they get mixed up in my mind. We worked Abbeville, Alabama, the Big A Dragway. We've helped at different tracks. Let's see, Andalusia, Abbeville, Atmore, Alabama, Everett Coast Dragway in Florida, down near Hope, Florida, and close to Pensacola. Gosh, we've rented tracks and done races at Albany, Georgia, and Phoenix City, different places all over. All these years, I can't recall all of them, to be truthful with you. And we wound up, now we're here at Panama City Dragway, and it's about 75 miles from our home. We come down here every week to race, but love the sport, keeps us going.
So you're telling me and our viewers that you live 75 miles away from here, and you come down here to this facility every weekend?
Correct, that's it.
If that's not a diehard race fan, or race fans rather, I don't know what would be. What year did you get this track as your baby?
Well, we just leased it last year. We've been here about a year now.
Okay, a year now. And the year you've been here, what's the overall experience? A lot of racers coming out, a lot of people show a lot of support, a lot of love for what you're doing?
Oh yeah, it's and it's building. The economy has got things slowed down a little bit, but we're having good crowds and everything's looking up, and it's getting better.
We were here filming a couple weeks back, and I want to say there were 75 or 80 people racing, and it was a decent sized crowd. It was really nice.
Right.
That was the week after the Gassers and Geezers event. Can you explain what the Gassers and Geezers event was?
Well, that was our old timers deal. We have an old drag racer reunion in Panama City the last Saturday of September every year, and this year was the 12th year of that. It's just old drag racers getting together for a reunion. We're not part of it other than helping the guys with it, but they have a car show down at the marina in Panama City, and then reunions, festivities. We have a Hall of Fame, and I was inducted a few years ago. And that is just a get together of old racers and old friends, and we do the race that Saturday night every year, the last Saturday in September.
Okay, speaking of old cars, what was the first car you raced?
Gosh, whatever the family car was, I guess, when I was 16 years old. But first real race car, 37 Ford. Me and a friend partnered up in when we were seniors in high school, and it was a Pontiac motor, and of all things, it had a tri-power manifold on it, three-deuce manifold that had been modified. It had a 4-barrel in the middle and two barrels on the ends. And that was our first experience with a real race car, organized racing.
Ford frame and body, big block Buick motor.
No, Pontiac.
Pontiac motor.
Mm-hmm.
And some custom parts.
Oh yeah.
How'd she run?
Run pretty good. We did real good with it. We won a lot of races, and actually my friend he went off in the National Guard, and I raced the car while he was gone. He came back, and then he sold the car a little bit later, and we ran it 2 or 3 years, I think.
Right on. Name some other cars you've had through the years. You've got to have a couple that were special to you.
Well, the friend that I was talking about with the 37 Ford,
mm-hmm.
actually when we were seniors in high school, or right out of high school, I had a 58 Pontiac Chieftain 2-door hardtop, and we had a pepped up motor in, 3 deuces and all that, and he had a 58 Bonneville. Oh man, it was luxurious, all power, everything. We used it to double date in and mine to play with. And then when Ann and I got married, I had traded that off for a 47 Ford Coupe, and we got married in '64. It would have a Cadillac motor in it that I installed, and that's what we had.
Did you ever go on a double date in that car?
Yes.
It was nice, power, everything.
Yeah,
like
everything.
a living room, right?
Right.
They don't make them like that no more. They make these little things. All right, so now, do you ever race these days?
Oh yeah, I've made it a point to race at least one time out of the last 51 years, I believe it is. I make it a point.
Do you have your own car, or are you racing?
No, well, right now I've got one that's not built, but I'll borrow somebody's car, or I'll do something. I just made it a point to race
once a year.
At least once a year, so I can say I did.
You love racing.
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
that's true.
Do you root him on when he races?
Oh yeah.
You cheer him on? How's he do?
He does real good.
Yeah, the reaction time's still solid.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
humane.
And that's what helps him, I
That's
bet.
what helps.
Yeah. It's all about getting a good start, because you know the motor's going to pull on the other end.
Right.
Yep.
Correct.
All right, so let's get back to this track. The Gassers and Geezers is the last Saturday of September.
Right.
What other events can you tell our viewers you have during the course of the year?
During the course of the year here at Panama City Dragway, we have the first Saturday of every month we run a heads up series, about 4 heads up classes, and then the third Saturday of the month we have our bracket series, and we have 2 races in one day. For the price of fuel, you can come and race 2 times in one day and go back home. You ain't got to have a motel bill and stay overnight, but that's what we've been doing the first and the third Saturday of each month. Of course, we have test and tune, funny grudge races. We call it Fun Day Sunday every Sunday afternoon throughout the year.
Is that where people can come and grudge race?
Oh yeah, grudge race, test and tune. We have a lot of grudge races, and some of the guys, just friends, want to run the other guy. They come out here at very minimal charge for them to race, and they get on.
So if you and your friend, or you and your non-friend, are talking all that smack back and forth, you can come to the track and settle it and see who gets down the other end first.
That's correct. That's correct.
No need to do anything else. You can just put it on the track and keep it on the track.
Yep.
Do you find a lot of people, when they know they can race someone that maybe back in high school they didn't like, or they've been racing them since then, when they come out and race here, no matter who wins and who loses, do you find that they're happy to finally do that?
Oh yeah.
It's just one of them things in life you have to do.
Win, lose, or draw. They're happy.
Right on, right on. Now, you have quite a few banners and signs around here from different manufacturers and even different local companies. That's something you guys encourage for people to advertise around here?
Oh yes, we have a backboard up here behind the burnout area. We sell billboards there, and then on the finish line we have scoreboards on either side that tells us times and all. We have our 2 of our major sponsors down there. One of them is Orange Man race cars out of Panama City down here, and then the other one is FTI Converters. They're out of oh gosh, in South Florida. I'm trying to remember now. I don't even remember the name of the town. But Florida Torque Converters Incorporated, FTI, they're a major sponsor, and that's signage is always available if anybody wants to put something up.
Just give you a call?
Give us a call.
What's the number?
334-299-0303.
334-299-0303.
Yes, that's our home number, but that's what we do the business at the track on. The track number 762-8961. Of course, that's area code 850 down here in Florida. You know, we live 75 miles away and come down here.
Yeah. On any given weekend, you're up in Alabama. You're packing up the truck to come on down to the track for the weekend. You have your set routine, I'm sure, after all these years.
Yes.
Everything's in its spot, ready to be grabbed and gotten and go.
There you go.
How excited do you still get, both of you, how excited do you still get to hop in the car and come down to the track?
Oh gosh, how do you I don't know how to put a number on that.
Is it safe to say you live for what you do?
Oh yeah, it's love of the sport. Love of the sport. We do it and have done it so long, but we'll do it as long as we can, I guess.
This is a perfect time for me to thank you,
Mhm.
and here's why. As a youngster, I was a little rambunctious myself, and did a little bit of racing. Before I got on the track, I did it on the street, in the highways, and everywhere you could, until I learned to get on the track. And there's no substitute for the safety and the intelligence and the system behind a track. Where when you do things off a track, there's so many variables, bad things can happen. When you're on a track, you're in a much safer, controlled environment.
Correct.
And it's much better to do things in that fashion. And thank you, because there's a lot of people that if they didn't have this track, you know they'd be settling stuff somewhere on some road somewhere, or some back road or some highway, and creating a lot of havoc and damage. So it's keeping the sport alive by you guys living for what you do. You know, and you're keeping people in check a little bit.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Now you guys give out awards to winners.
Sure.
Okay. What type of awards do y'all give out?
Trophies most of the time, but I've started building some clocks. The guys like a clock to hang in their shop or in their trailer, and we have some for the Heads Up series we run and for the ET Bracket series we run. I build them myself, and
These are the Heads Up clocks.
and most of the guys appreciate them till they get 3 or 4 of them, and then they about run out of places to put them, and they want a trophy then. Or the kids, their kids want a trophy most of the time.
These are the bracket series.
Yep. That's it.
And then the trophies. Let's see if I can grab some trophies real quick. Which ones should I grab?
Those are the winning trophies right
The
there.
winner
Either
trophies
one
there,
of
and the runner-up are the smaller ones over here.
Alright, I'll just grab the 2 on the one end, because they're all beautiful. So if you come out and race for the night or the day, depending, and you win, you leave with a trophy.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
These are both over 1 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a real marble base and top too.
Right.
That's nice. Right on. And there's also some financial rewards.
Oh yeah, it varies on the amount of money. Varies. It could be anywhere from 100 or 200 up to the highest we paid this year. I think on many classes 1,500. And
Oh wow. That'll cover your costs.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. You have a small off season.
Mm-hmm.
When is that?
We'll close down for the holidays of the middle of December, and then open back up according to the weather. Sometimes middle of January, late January, 1st of February. We just have to watch the weather and the long range forecast, and because people don't like to come out when it's real messy.
Or real cold, yeah, that bitter cold wind, yeah.
Something I forgot to mention when you were talking about safety a little while ago. We had we ran Dale County Dragway. It was our own track back. It's in Ozark, Alabama, back in the '80s, and then we lost our lease in '89, closed the track down, and the guy was building this track down here a year or 2 later, like in '92, I think they built this track, and I actually sold him some of the guardrail that's on the track right now, and plus some of the breacher frames that are here. Of course, they put new lumber and all on them, but it's some of the original stuff from our track back in the '80s. So
it's still here and still
come full
built
circle.
right. Yeah, that's too much. Now, when you open up in January or February, what do you do to kick off spring?
We open up with test and tune and grudge races, Fun Day Sunday we call it, every Sunday afternoon, and then about the first weekend in March we usually have our grand opening for the regular full-blown race cars, and we have a big race first weekend in March generally. Have Heads Up series, pro mods, whatever we can we just plan it out each year. It's what looks like it's gonna work the best. The Heads Up series is what we bust off 1st of March, though.
Okay. Speaking of the different classes, what types of classes of cars do you have come out?
Well, we have locally we have what they call the 570 Real Estate Association. They are Heads Up cars, street legal type cars on a 570 index. That's 5 seconds, 5.7 seconds in an eighth of a mile. They usually run about 130 mile an hour, I think, but they run Heads Up. Then we have a 5.30 second, 6 flats and 7 flat Heads Up classes. Plus we have the Pro Mod sometime, and of course then on our bracket weekends, which is the 3rd weekend of the month, we have Super Pro, Sportsman, and Junior Dragsters. We have a good showing of Junior Dragsters. That's the kids growing up, learning to race, and eventually they'll migrate into a real race car, and we have a lot of fun with the kids doing that now.
We have some footage of those, what do you call those dragsters?
Junior Dragsters.
Junior dragsters, and let me tell you something, they get up and boogie.
Yeah.
They do.
Some of them are pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, and the 2 drivers I saw, there was one black one and one pink one, dragsters, and they both got down the track real well.
Oh, yeah.
Real well, yeah. And from what I understand, they're 10 horsepower Briggs and Stratton engines?
Well, they're based on a 5-horse engine, but gosh, the way they build those, they're custom built
They
engines,
modify 'em.
30 horsepower plus.
Easy, yeah, them things are
Down
boogie
one
down the track.
cylinder.
Yeah. Now, do you ever get motorcycles come out?
Sure, yeah. Today, our test and tune today and all, we've got a group of bikers that's going. Thunder Beach is going on this weekend down in Panama City, and a lot of bikers are coming up this afternoon to grudge race and run amongst themselves and have fun.
How does that usually go over?
Oh yeah, they have a good time. We got some that'll run the 8th mile here they touch 4-second range in 8th mile.
Wow, that can mess with that one or 2 cars you got that come out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a couple of
That's
monsters.
faster than I want to go on 4 wheels,
Yeah,
much less
2. Yeah, there's a couple of cars that come out here on a semi-regular basis at least, and they run them 4 seconds.
Ooh.
That's smoking.
I think the track record here is around I believe it's a 4.0 or a 3.90. I don't remember. Pro modified cars run.
That's boogieing. You have a small staff.
Yes.
Who's with you right now currently?
Well, Scott, our guy on the racetrack, who oversees the racetrack, and he's got 3 guys that work for him, and then April works here in the tower. She's in charge of the tower, and of course Tony at the gate and his wife Diane in the concession stand take care of those things for us. It's kind of a big, real family affair, really.
It worked for NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
It's working for y'all.
Oh yeah.
So the phone number to get a hold of y'all for either racing or advertising or anything, once again, is
334-299-0303.
okay. And y'all are on the web too. You have a website?
PanamaCityDragway.com.
And you're also on Twitter and Facebook?
Well, on Facebook,
Okay.
it's the old name of the track was Breakaway, but you can go to Breakaway or PanamaCityDragway.com, put a search in, and you'll get us.
Okay. Is there any special shout outs you want to say to anybody? Want to say hello to somebody?
Oh gosh, we've made so many friends over the years in racing.
And you probably saw half of them 2 weeks ago at
Well,
the
yeah, the reunion, we saw a lot of our older racers, and we're losing a lot of those.
Yeah.
They're beginning to die off. Like I said, I'm supposed to be 69, and I'm one of the young ones of the bunch.
Yeah.
And but we appreciate all the support over all the years, all the racetracks that me and the wife have been at. We've made a lot of friends, and been to watch a lot of races go down the racetrack.
If you're in the Gulf area or the Florida Panhandle area, and you want to race, or you know somebody that likes to race, you got to look them up and come out and race. There's always 60, 75, 80, 100 cars here racing, people in the stands, families. I saw
Right.
full families all over in the stands.
Sure.
It was beautiful on both sides.
Yep.
Concession stands are here, restroom facilities, food, everything you need is here. Cell phones work pretty good out here. Not that you can hear with the cars going, but they work. And everyone here that we've met so far is a wonderful person with a great big smile, and they're very welcoming and inviting to you. What other events go on through the year?
We have special events with the Pro Mod cars, and we haven't had one since we've been here, but they've been jet cars come in and run, and wheel standards, that kind of stuff. Next season we're going to plan out some of those, and besides all of the regular racers and all. And by the way, Fountain, Florida is about 25 miles north of Panama City, Florida.
Yes.
So if you're looking for a racetrack and it's not in Central America, Panama City is easy to find.
And also, you're only about 20, maybe let's say 30 minutes from I-10.
I-10, we're about 30 minutes south of I-10.
And an easy 30 minutes without speeding. Yeah, it's just
Right.
Yeah, right on down. If you like to race, you like the races, you got to come check this place out. It's a beautiful facility. We'll try to take some pictures and get them up as well. Trophies, clocks, money, you name it, you can get it here, right?
You're right.
The new season's going to kick off January or February.
Right, just keep
We
in
have
touch. Yeah.
2 more weeks this season.
Right.
But you also open up for special manufacturers and special shops and special things if people call you and the weather permitting and holiday permitting and everything works out for a deal, y'all will open up.
Right, and we
Okay.
do have track rentals. The track is available to rental on the weekends we're not running. We have 2 extra Saturdays in the month that we can arrange for track rentals. We had, fact is, we got a Ford deal coming up in November, and we have 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and we're open to more. We come in and do everything for the racetrack and run it and all, and the guys just come in. They take their own money up at the gate. When they rent the track, they take their own money up at the gate and have fun.
Can you see yourself doing any other thing?
No, not really. We've done it all our life.
That's hardcore, die-hard racers. They live for what they do, and they're here for the racers. They know what the racers go through. They'll help you in any way they can. Everyone's got a smile and a hand to lend. We haven't seen anything like it in years since South Florida Hollywood Sportatorium. It's really special being here, and we want to thank y'all for having us out on this beautiful Sunday morning.
All right.
Thank you.
And
Thank you too.
We look forward
We
to the races
appreciate you
today.
doing what you're doing for us.
And y'all coming out and see them. Panama City Dragway.